A wise man once said, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a federal officer trying to take your rights. That's how we're starting the episode.
I was not prepared for that one.
Neither was I.
I wasn't prepared for either, and I was the one saying it. Hello, my name is Frederick Graves, and welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens. With me, as always, my lovely co-host and wife.
It's me. It's Taylor. Hello.
Taylor Graves.
Hi.
And with us running cameras and sound is Bill Bernard.
Howdy, howdy.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang. I have some news stories right off the rip. I just want to talk about this first one. Well, I'll leave it up to the group here. Do you guys want to hear the true crime news story first, or do you want to hear the animal news story first?
Either.
Ooh. I'm going to say true crime. Let's dive in.
There's also an update regarding the man that I talked about last week who had the 100+ people's remains in his house.
Yes.
That story has apparently just blown up on the internet.
Okay.
Police described his house much like Ed Gein's home. Apparently there was bodies hanging and all these cadavers, but he's actually on Instagram and I can't remember what his name is. But you can find it.
Okay.
And you can just go on there. You can just see people's remains.
It's also crazy. He's also on Facebook, and I had mutuals with him.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I mean, you don't need 7 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. You know that guy.
It's unfortunate the circles that we run in.
Yes.
That's just
not
how it
that
happens.
Crazy.
No,
yeah.
no, not at all. So I'll start off this comes from ABC 7. A snowplow driver accused of being high on cocaine during crash into Fairfield home. This comes from Fairfield, Connecticut. Police in Connecticut say a snowplow driver was high on cocaine when he crashed into a home last month. This happened on December 28th. So police say Mark Paul Keene, 46, veered off the road, went across 2 lawns, hit a porch and a Christmas tree, and then crashed a car into a family's garage door. I mean, just completely decimated this property.
Yeah.
Court documents say Keene had slurred speech and pinpoint pupils, and he suddenly collapsed into the snow, began to foam at the mouth, and turned blue, prompting an officer to administer Narcan. Prosecutors say Keene later said he did, quote, did 3 bumps of cocaine and had no recall of the incident. So
yeah, you'd certainly think that a snowplow driver would get more than enough snow in his day-to-day job there. The fact that he had to do a little bit more and then Jack Frost was nipping at his nose. Okay.
Jack Frost be nipping at somebody else when he goes to jail. So
yes.
Yeah. I just thought it was very ironic that a snowplow driver was doing cocaine.
Yes.
Yeah. And just from some animal news, comes from UPI, which is a coyote caught on camera swimming to San Francisco's Alcatraz Island is believed to be the first of its species to visit the former prison.
What could have possessed that thing to think that? That's wild.
That's a long swim.
Yes, yes, man.
This just in. They're now infested with coyotes.
This place used to be home to hundreds of prisoners. Now it's home to hundreds. Well, one coyote.
One coyote. He's the worst of the worst.
We made him the warden and the only prisoner. So Aiden Moore, a guest relations employee for Alcatraz City Cruises, said he was helping visitors disembark at the dock when a tourist showed him a video she had captured of a coyote swimming to shore and climbing up under the rocks. He contacted the rangers on the island, but they were unable to locate the animal. Moore said he suspects the coyote may have just gone back in the water, but it could also be hiding out somewhere on the island. They have no idea where it is. There's just a coyote. It's either on Alcatraz or it's not on Alcatraz.
Those are the 2 options.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's the bay. There's sharks out there. So it could be shark food.
Maybe.
Or maybe he's living out his dreams of being a prisoner in Alcatraz.
Either way, that was like a Schrodinger's cat parable right there. Is it on the island? Is it not? The real question is, why the hell was it there to begin with?
Release the coyote files. Was he on the island or not?
We need the coyote files.
We need the coyote files. I need to know if he was on the island or not.
At least temporarily, yes.
Redacted may or may not have been on Redacted Island.
It's all done in black highlight.
Yeah. And it's just like Coyote. Alcatraz. Like very clear. Yeah, I just thought that was like a very random thing of like, that's a long swim.
Yes, I'm also like thinking Coyote, is he like the Mexican connection? Is he like the one that's funneling the animals on and off of the island or something? Like we need to know this.
As a psychic medium like myself, like how I am a psychic medium, I can tell that it's the ghost of Al Capone trying to get back into his cell. I can feel the energy.
Why is he trying to get back into his cell?
Because his cell was actually very bougie, if you know anything about Alcatraz.
It was actually very bougie.
You fucking fuck.
But like,
derailing my whole bit that I just had. He was trying to get back into a cell because the cell was super nice and cush.
I just feel like there has to be a Roadrunner reference there. There has to be a road reference at somewhere or something. That's crazy though. I would never have imagined that to be a thing, let alone knowing how difficult it was to go to and from the island. That would have been
especially
a monumentous yes, yeah, for a coyote of all animals, that would have been a monumentous thing to undertake.
Can you imagine being the tour guide and you get back over to San Francisco and you're like, yeah, I didn't see the coyote, and then this like person walks past you in their trench coat, smoking a cigarette with a hat pulled over his face. Was like, "Thanks, handsome." And you're like, "You weren't on the tour." He takes off the trench coat and scurries off. Like, wait a second.
Hold on a minute.
We got an escapee. Call the boys. The boys are just other coyotes.
Yes.
And they start mauling fucking small dogs that are walking down the pier.
Oh my
god. Dude, I'm so glad you found that, because I never would have even imagined that to be possible. But to know the mystery and the allure of the coyote of the island, that might reinvigorate people's interest, because they'll be like, hey, I want to go and see if I can find it.
I'm looking up to see Alcatraz from land is roughly 1.25 to 1.5 miles. Or 2 to 2.4 kilometers from the San Francisco shoreline.
Jesus Christ! If like this isn't like some like Toy Story type situation where it's like the animals they do things when humans aren't watching, I don't know how that coyote did that.
Maybe he's training for an Ironman.
Maybe
that would be good training.
Yeah, well, yeah. People, I know. There's a back half of the story I didn't talk about, but people on the San Francisco shoreline did see a coyote riding a bike, so that might be. You said on your left.
he's got like 26K stitched into the side of him.
He's just like. Standing outside of a juice bar.
Yes.
Standing outside of a juice bar, it's be like, yeah, I just got really into fitness. I only live a couple years, so I figured I might as well spend it being as healthy as possible.
He
like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. It's like, yeah, it's really cool. Do you have any cats at home that I could have?
I'm on a lean meat diet.
Yeah. I only eat strays, looking out for the community.
Oh my God.
That's dumb. But yeah, so last week we talked about 3 very haunted locations in New York State. This week we're doing it again. We're talking about more haunted locations in New York State because I really wanted to hear about this asylum Taylor was talking about.
I did.
Is it in this episode?
It is.
Okay.
It'd be really
How
fun.
mean would it have been if I just didn't include it?
I just wouldn't have listened and just read it on my own. I would have pushed his mic away and just got up. I would have sat upstairs and taken a dump for the next hour and a half.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. Either that or I would have just dropped an XLR cord from the ceiling and just been in there and been like, what are you guys talking about in there? You guys talking about stuff in there? And you're like, I'm the ghost of the Blue Bell. And I'm like, is there toilet paper down there? All of it is gone. I was trying to make a ghost.
I was trying to make a ghost.
Oh my God.
It doesn't work because it doesn't stand up in the air.
Doesn't. You're correct.
So, is there going to be any more hijinks like last week with the bicycle accidents and hotels that are apparently cursed?
Well, our first one's a hotel.
Oh,
Here we go.
And if you don't know this hotel, I'm going to be surprised because it is a very famous hotel.
you can check out anytime, but you can never leave.
You can check in anytime, not
Yes.
check out. You
Yes.
can check in anytime you want, but you have to leave by 11 because that's usually how that works.
Yes, exactly. You don't want to be billed for another day.
Yeah, that would just be irresponsible. Meanwhile, you're having full blown sleep paralysis. Just like, hey, check out is at 11, and meanwhile your whole body's like, like the Hat Man standing over you, and he's like, "Did you enjoy the complimentary soaps?" I did, Mr. Hat Man. Thank you very much, and I would really appreciate it if you would stop freezing my entire body into perpetual hell.
What about the chocolates? Did you like the chocolates we left on the pillow?
The chocolates were really good. I didn't realize there was chocolate, so I woke up halfway through the night and I thought I did shit the bed.
They're not chocolate.
Yeah, okay, so it wasn't chocolate, so I did poop the bed. Explains the flavor. I thought it was a little rich.
Hey, well, I know you know about animals. What is the name of that creature that makes the cube poop?
Wombat.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
wombat.
was like, either a ghost or a wombat had been in the room.
Honestly, dude, it's
Or a ghost wombat.
It's
Ghost wombat.
It's New York State. It could have been a wombat.
Yes.
There's a whole famous case of NYPD because they have like NYPD has their like high extraction teams or something like that,
Yeah.
where they do like high angle extractions out of like vehicles. Like a vehicle goes over a bridge and is hanging down. They rappel down, or if someone's like on a side of a building, they can do this extraction. They work in partnership with the FDNY to do it. I'm a nerd, I know. But there's a famous photo of a dude had a fucking tiger in like Brooklyn, and the tiger is like clawing out the window and shit, and it's like this dude's like rappelling next to the window. It's like a famous thing. A dude had a full blown tiger inside of his house.
I never would have thought about that, but I mean, having seen the stuff that transpires on the subways, I would think is tame or more so than the Max.
Yes.
But still at the same time,
I don't know
he
about
earned
that.
a reputation.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know who's got the crazier like
It's got to be.
patrons.
I think it's got it. Well, it's got to be New York. I mean, like they had a whole. But what are the people that used to ride the Max? The Guardians.
Yes.
They used to ride not the Max, but they used to ride the trains. They're called like the Guardians in New York.
That's what the Republican guy who was running for New York mayor, he was the starter. He started that.
Watching interviews with that dude was the coolest thing ever.
Yes.
Because like I would only see bits and pieces be like, he's like, the Gambino shot me 15 times and I came back. You're like, oh, you are just New York City.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I don't know what his last name is, but I think it's like close to like Jojo Siwa or something.
yeah,
It's like something like that.
Jojo Siwa. That is Jojo Siwa.
Exactly.
That's what Jojo Siwa is up to nowadays. Well, Tay, I think we're ready to get into it.
All right.
I think we're nice and silly enough now.
So this first location is one that if you don't know this hotel, I think you do know this hotel, whether you know it by name or not.
Okay.
This is the Chelsea Hotel. Or the Hotel Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one that goes no.
No.
Chelsea grin. Chelsea Hotel. That sounds very familiar. Continue.
So
Hotel.
this hotel was a cauldron of creativity. It was a place that pretty much every artist around the world knew about and set out for. The Chelsea Hotel roster of residents included, but were not limited to, of course, Mark Twain, actress Sarah Bernhardt, political radical Elizabeth Gurley Flynn, Thomas Wolfe, Dylan Thomas, Bob Dylan, Patti Smith, the Grateful Dead. They played a fucking concert on the roof there. Like,
I only know Jojo Siwa.
you've also got Janis Joplin, Leonard Cohen,
Okay.
and also Stanley Kubrick.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Stanley Kubrick, actually, when he was writing, putting together 2001: A Space Odyssey, they were putting that all together in the Chelsea Hotel.
Oh wow.
So like this place is like
That come out before or after he faked the moon landing?
There we go.
1964.
When did we go to the moon?
1969.
Okay, so right before. Not long before.
It's all connected. You want to know what's really funny? Is I looked up because I was curious because I like looking up the podcast
Yeah.
on like Google to see how we're popping up because I type in like Oscars and see what pops up first. You know, obviously this podcast is first, right? Which is nice. And then I typed in, I was like, I wonder if there's anything with me. So I typed in Fred HGOPodcast, and it was like Fred is one of the main hosts of Haunts, Graves, and Omens with his co-host Taylor. And it says he often connects like fantastical theories on Instagram. And I'm like, damn it.
Damn it.
Everyone thinks I'm an idiot. But it's because I'm right.
Fantastical theory.
Yeah, fantastical theories. I'm fucking nuts.
Say what you want to say. If I ever come upon some information that is extremely hard to believe or like to even be comfortable to express, I feel like I would bring it to you first and then let y'all sit on it. Let y'all sit on it, and then based upon that would be whether or not I would go to like the wider media or something like that. Because it's like you guys have such a broad depth of all of these different things that I think a lot of people either don't know about or they're just like, oh, okay. And that for me makes me feel like I could trust you to be able to sit on something, and then if you're like, no, that's wild as shit, then I probably won't go forward. But if you're like, hey, there's something there, we should investigate that, I won't even need to go further. I'll be ready to go all the way in.
I feel like I'm unfortunately the person, and Taylor knows this all too well, that I would go up to either one of you and go, you guys want to go and do a skiff and play Connect 4 with a reptilian? And that just wouldn't be a weird thing that I would say to you.
No, no, I'd be like, I want to go there. I want to go there.
And we're never seen again because we were in the walls and the depths of the Chelsea Hotel. So all these famous people go to the Chelsea Hotel.
Yes.
Stanley Kubrick is working on Space Odyssey.
Yeah, he worked
Mark
on
Twain's was there at one point.
Andy Warhol filmed there, the Chelsea Girls.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Chelsea Hotel.
Yeah, okay. It's all connecting all the dots now.
Yeah, and then Madonna also, the coffee table book that she had called Sex, that was all photographed at the Chelsea Hotel.
Wow.
So like this is just kind of a small list of just people who have been at the Chelsea Hotel.
It's a cultural phenomenon. Yeah.
For artists, it's huge.
Yes.
So when the Chelsea first opened its doors in 1884, the Victorian Gothic structure was one of the tallest buildings in New York at the time. It was designed by architect Philip Hubert as a socialist commune where tenants could save money by splitting fuel and service costs. Apartments were reserved for the laborers who worked on the building, while the top floor was occupied by artist studios. It was constructed with 3-foot thick sound-proof walls to enable musicians to live in tandem with writers.
Huh.
So
interesting.
Fucking 3-foot thick walls.
That's insane.
So you weren't bothering the fucking poet next door.
Right.
Like.
Meanwhile, like just me on the other side of the wall, like. Kubrick, did you fake the moon landing or was that real? He like looks through. What the fuck?
So
how'd you do that?
The thing is, with art being the most popular currency, because what happened was the hotel's long-term manager, Stanley Bard, allowed cash-strapped tenants to pay in the form of art or enabled them to live rent-free in exchange for future work.
Wow.
Does that sound like a good idea?
You know, it's not going to look good on taxes or paying your staff or really anything that manages managing a hotel.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a good piece of art is definitely not going to clean the sheets
No, it is not.
of all the goo from the art.
Yeah.
All the art goo.
Art goo.
Because, I mean, the hotel's encounters were glittering, and each contributed to its legendary status. Patti Smith and Robert Mapplethorpe, at the time, who were unknown artists, had moved in 1969. In Patty's memoir, Just Kids, she wrote, quote, "I loved this place, its shabby elegance and the history it held so possessively. So many had written, conversed, and convulsed in these Victorian dollhouse rooms. So many transient souls had espoused, I don't, that's a fucking weird ass word, Patty, made a mark and succumbed here." So it was pretty well loved.
Okay.
However, they had to file bankruptcy.
Surprise, surprise.
So following the bankruptcy in 1905, the Chelsea was converted into a hotel instead of this place for artists.
Sure.
But it still had a lot of people just staying there as artists. Obviously, because like Stanley Kubrick, you got Andy Warhol,
Right.
you got all these fucking artists that were like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna be here.
It's no JoJo Siwa, but, you know, it was pretty good. It's no Sabrina Carpenter. Or whatever, you know.
Well, you'd need a carpenter to make a wall that's 3 feet like that.
Yeah, they need to be Swift in there. Taylor Swift, am I right, guys?
Hey.
Hey, we're hemorrhaging money. Please, somebody, please stay here. We're so poor.
We run just on vibes over here.
You know what's funny is you mentioned Taylor Swift. Apparently, because while I was doing research, she actually mentions the Hotel Chelsea in the title track, "Tortured Poets Department."
Oh my God.
God, it's so ironic. Like, oh my goodness.
Because it was basically like the lyric was like, "You're not Dylan Thomas and I'm not Patti Smith. This ain't the hotel, Chelsea Hotel. We're modern idiots," I guess is the lyric. I don't fucking know. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. However, when I was researching, I was like, hold on, I'm pretty sure.
That's fucking
I read
bars, dude. She got
something
bars. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure I read something about that. So yeah, with art being the most popular currency, little money came through the door and the hotel was slowly falling into disrepair. Playwright Arthur Miller, who moved in following his divorce from Marilyn Monroe in 1960, recalled the, quote, "faded grandeur and the tattered carpets." And then in a semi-autobiographical novel, Naked Lunch, William S. Burroughs wrote that, quote, "the walls seemed to sweat," and described the building as a nightmarish labyrinth that was both decaying and alive.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that inspires confidence.
You know, honestly, sounds kind of cozy, guys.
It kind of just fell off because like they couldn't fucking afford shit because they were like,
yeah,
you can pay us later with you just mention us in a song or something later.
such a
That
cool
sounds
dude.
good.
There are
Sounds
there are
good.
4 stages of the afterlife: heaven, purgatory, the Chelsea Hotel, and hell. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's
I'll book a room.
hotel,
Yeah,
must
fuck it.
be
Yeah,
nice.
fuck it. Let's see what's going on.
However, there have been a series of tragic events that propelled the Chelsea's eerie nature. Dylan Thomas, who was often heard with loud dish-smashing fights with his wife Caitlin Thomas at the hotel, ended up starting the trail. On November 3rd of 1953, the Welsh poet and writer ventured out of room 205 in the back of the hotel, a dimmer, danker location than the rooms with front balconies. And he went to go drink, which
Yeah.
he later boasted to fellow Chelsea denizens that it had been 18 straight whiskeys at the nearby White Horse Tavern.
Okay.
18 whiskeys.
If that's not like a heavy day, I'd hate to imagine what overdoing it looks like.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, like that's pretty intense.
Biographers say that the bartender who served him said that it couldn't have been more than like half that number, so it couldn't have been more than 9.
Yeah.
However, who the fuck knows?
Really? Yeah.
I mean, it is 1953. I don't know that the OLCC was like super on top of it.
No.
I don't even know if they had the OLCC at the time.
I like to think that the days before like you could get a DUI, it was just completely wild and you could pretty much do whatever you want at that point.
Yeah. Okay, so the OLCC was still around, but I don't know if they were so strict in 1953.
Right. No.
There's only 20 years like since it started.
Okay, sure.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, a little
Maybe
bit
he
of
was saving
leniency.
his ass.
Sure.
But 18 straight whiskey sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great way to get the party started.
So, the 39-year-old then went drinking at the White Horse again the following night. And upon his return to the Chelsea, he fell violently ill.
Okay.
Surprise, drinking 18 straight whiskeys 2 days in a row is not a good idea.
Rumor has it, it's pretty bad for you. It's almost like you shouldn't do that, ever.
It's not
Usually
a great way to stay in shape.
No. I mean, round.
Yes, yeah, that is a shape that you will be.
So, concerned friends had called an ambulance at around 1 a.m. on November 5th, and Thomas was taken to St. Vincent's Hospital a few blocks away. He ended up having pneumonia, among other ailments exacerbated by smoking and alcoholism, and which he fell into a coma and died on November 9th. Now, the White Horse Tavern is also said to be haunted by Mr. Dylan Thomas. It was a place that he would frequent, but technically he apparently also haunts the Hotel Chelsea.
Okay, so he floats around.
He just kind of has,
But
yeah. Though perhaps nothing has rattled the Chelsea's walls more than the fatal stabbing of 20-year-old Nancy Spungen.
okay.
That name sound familiar to you at all?
That name does sound very familiar to me.
Don't worry, it'll get more familiar. Seemingly at the hands of her boyfriend, Sex Pistols bassist Sid Vicious. Sid and Nancy. Good old Sid and Nancy. And this was in room 100 on the hotel's first floor. They actually, so in this hotel, drug use was so rampant that the first floor was like dedicated to those who had addictions and were using drugs. Initially, Sid Vicious and Nancy were in a different room, and then one of the hotel staff saw them like wandering around in like a stupor, and they were like, "You're getting moved.
Yeah.
You get to go down
Yeah.
onto the first level."
Yeah, the first level too is known to have snowplow drivers that go through all the cocaine that is piling up there. Obviously,
Hey, you guys need to have your driveways plowed or your cars plowed or your
Bro,
trees.
it's July.
Your driving to your garage.
Bro, it's July. I don't need your help at all.
You want to play in a band? Like, I literally am a bassist in one of the most famous bands, and he's like, "Yeah, no, it's all going to be just about snowplows."
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna call ourselves the snowplows. We're calling ourselves the sex plows.
The sex
We're
plows.
just like, all right, we're not doing this.
So the story of Sid and Nancy, if you don't know, was that the 20-year-old Brit had woke up from a drug-induced slumber on the morning of October 12th, 1978, to find Nancy dead in the bathroom.
Oh, damn.
Sid was charged with the murder, but ended up dying at a friend's Greenwich Village apartment a few months later while out on bail, having taken heroin and 4 Quaaludes. This is when Quaaludes were really, really popular.
Ah, Daludes.
They're not as popular now.
I don't even think you can get them anymore.
You can
There's people.
Yeah, there's people you can acquire Quaaludes from.
Okay, but are they like Wolf of Wall Street lemons Quaaludes?
There's this channel I follow
Okay.
where these guys do like urban exploration.
Sure.
And they were like going into like a hospital.
Yeah.
From like the
Right.
fucking 60s or whatever,
Yeah.
looking around, or not 60s, but looking around, and they found a bunch of old medication, and one of them was just a fucking giant bottle full of Quaaludes.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And I
buddy.
was like, oh, dude, someone's like foaming at the mouth for that, dude. That'd be wild.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to like get drugs and like go to your friend and be like, Bill, let's take acid, and I bought it from this guy, and we're
Yeah.
like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
But if I came to you and was like, I found this in an abandoned hospital, you want to take abandoned hospital Quaaludes with me?
I'd be like, I value our friendship. I very much do. But that is the strangest thing you have ever asked me, Fred. And I'm gonna need to pump the brakes on that one. Like, let's start with something a little bit safer first.
I can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this.
So yeah, the police during the whole thing had said that Sid tearfully told them that he had killed her when he was arrested, but he couldn't remember doing it. And a lot of people who knew the couple didn't believe that he was guilty of it.
Mm-hmm.
There was suspicion that it was actually a suicide pact. It's a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Whole thing. But
You think those NYC like those New York coppers were like, well, his name is Sid Vicious.
fucking probably.
Hey, gotta go with this fucking guy. He's Sid Vicious. Get this fucking guy. I can't do an Italian accent right now.
No, you can't.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia, this guy probably did it.
Jesus.
Gabagool.
Gabagool.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff around
Okay.
that
Yeah.
whole event in general that they don't know, and he was never actually convicted because he passed away. But Andy Warhol had actually written in a diary entry, quote, "The police just arrested Sid Vicious. They just let anybody in over there. That hotel is dangerous. It seems like somebody's killed there once a week." Photographer Billy Maynard, who specialized in glam rockers and subversive for their time groups like the Cockettes, was found beaten to death in his 8th floor room in 1974.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Telka Graf, at 38 years old, severed her own left hand at the wrist with a large pair of shears and jumped from the window of her room on the 5th floor of the Chelsea Hotel. She had landed on a balcony at the 2nd floor. And then patrolman Joseph Horn of West 30th Street Police Station picked her up, made a tourniquet for her arm from the lining of his coat, and called an ambulance.
What a fucking gangster, dude. That is gnarly.
Yes. I
See, Bill probably saw my face. My mouth just like got more and more open as you were talking. Like,
Right.
holy shit.
I was thinking when initially you were saying that, I was like, if you need help, just ask for help. If you don't know how to use shears, then don't do that. But then it progressively got worse and worse.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
like, oh my
it was-
God.
In my mind, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, she was like high on drugs. And was like, I'm making arts crafts, and then like
No.
cut her fucking. No, she just cut her hand off and was
Yeah.
like, fuck it, and just jumped out,
Yep.
hit the
So-
balcony on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
So there was some stuff that I was reading where they absolutely had the name wrong, because I know this didn't happen twice. But this information is stuff that I pulled from the New York Times.
okay.
So like the original New York Times
Yeah.
paper. So I know that this is the right name.
okay.
Yeah.
Because there was one that I was reading, it's like the exact same fucking story, but a different name. And I was like, you're wrong.
I also like how like Warhol was like, it's like I feel like everyone's always dying there, and it's like we just did a whole segment, like a whole talk on it a few minutes ago, about how the 1st floor was entirely for people who were like on hard drugs
Yes.
and like just doing crazy shit, and it's like, yeah, everybody keeps dying here. I don't know why. It's like, I don't know. Look at your fucking clientele.
Look at your neighbors.
You know?
Like,
just walking in, like, a fistful of just needles full of, like, every kind of drug. Be like, hey, clerk, good to see you. It's like, oh, yeah, you have a good day. And wait a second. He's on the second floor. Get that guy.
That's our only rule. Get downstairs.
Yeah, get downstairs.
yeah.
That's it.
I mean, like, it was kind of just like a crazy hotel. They would have. There was one guy who had snakes. There was another that brought in.
That doesn't really seem like a crime.
Yeah.
No. But like they had a lot of like weird stuff, like weird people. Like he had his whole apartment was full of animals. There was another that.
Well, Floridians can't go on vacation, dude.
I don't know why, but I was like,
No. They had like 2 lion cubs at one point, or tiger cubs, something like that.
That actually might be the same place. I'm gonna look it up.
Like there was a lot going on. So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I felt like a guy having snakes is one thing. It'd be different if it was a snake that had a bunch of guys. That would be well, like, drastically different.
The thing is, though, is like this is also like the 60s, 70s,
Sure. Okay.
like times
Okay.
where like, yeah, you can have a snake now, and people are like, okay, cool, like whatever.
Yeah.
But you have a giant fucking boa constrictor back then. People
Right.
are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
yeah.
it throws you off.
You're the snake guy, and people were not used to snake guys. That's right. That's right.
I use the snake guys. I don't know why that's so funny to me. just the whole idea of like, so like, what do you do for fun? Like, do you like to go and like, I don't know, like look at art and stuff, or like go to see comedy? Because comedy's so big in New York and stuff. And like, no, I like snakes. Like, oh, cool. You're like study snakes? Like, no, I just sit in a room and look at them, just stare at them. What the fuck? You're a snake guy?
Yeah.
You're a snake guy.
I was also curious because I couldn't remember because he said like 2 lion cubs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if the tiger was at the Chelsea, and it was not. It was in Harlem.
Oh, okay.
His name was Ming.
Oh.
Ming.
Yeah. And if we take a little anecdote real quick and just read, because there is a little plaque. It's called Ming, the Tiger of Harlem. Legendary New York City tiger raised in apartment 5E in the Drew Hamilton houses. And gives an address. In 2003, after 3 years of living in the apartment, Ming was rescued by the authorities and relocated to Noah's Lost Ark Animal Sanctuary in rural Ohio, where he lived out the rest of his days in comfort and peace. Loved by many.
Yeah.
He died in 2019.
I remember that.
But yeah, I was just like, what's up with people just having large cats?
I mean, also, a lot of like the crazy shit that happened was in the fucking 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
There was a lot of crazy shit happening.
You could just do whatever you wanted back then.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, we talked. I had a whole conversation with one of my coworkers because we're talking about cult leaders.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was like, Bill, I'll ask Bill because I don't think because you weren't there when we did our Jim Jones episode. You familiar with Jim Jones?
Yes. Yep.
Do you know what Jim Jones used to do to raise money for the People's Temple or the People's Church of Guyana?
I forget because I do remember we talked about this once upon a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he used to do door-to-door sales of selling monkeys. So it's just that around that same time of that,
You could
where
just
I'm
do
like,
whatever you
could
want.
just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, what a magical time that must have been, just to be able to, like, you just wake up one day and you're like, I think I'm just gonna buy like a bunch of tigers and lions and just keep them in my house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep them in my apartment.
Yeah. That was a really common thing.
Do that and just do a bunch of drugs. Nothing's gonna go wrong there.
What a great way. What a great way to live.
So, circling back to Mrs. Graff, at the hotel, it was said that Mrs. Graff's daughter telephoned the clerk that her mother had jumped out the window, and it was said that Mrs. Graff had been suffering from nervous prostration and had been in a sanitarium up to several weeks ago. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Alexander Sever.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's a little,
There we
it's a
go.
little on the nose.
Yep.
Yes.
Or on the wrist, rather.
Yes, there we go.
And 2 brothers also live in the hotel. Mr. Sever is a silk importer. Mrs. Graff's husband was said to be in St. Louis. And the severed hand was found in Mrs. Graff's room, supposedly in her daughter's bed.
Okay, I'm glad it was found in the room.
In her daughter's bed.
Well, I mean, where else are you gonna put it?
That's
Well, ideally not in your daughter's bed.
Well,
that's better than a prized horse head in your bed.
or just a horse.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't imagine being a clerk at the Chelsea.
No.
Can you imagine being front desk at the Chelsea? Like, you just answer the phone, but like, someone's overdosing in room 101. You're like, okay, I'll call FDNY, and you hang up, and you call FDNY, and you know they show up, they pull the person away, and then someone calls the front desk, and you're like, front desk Chelsea, and they're like, there's a bunch of tigers and lions loose in 202, and you're like, okay, and then call NYPD, and they come out and deal with it. Some lady cut her fucking hand off, jumped off the 5th floor, and you're like, what is happening today? Mondays, am I right, guys?
There was a lot of stuff that happened.
That's insane.
Yes.
There was also Charles Jackson, who committed suicide in the Chelsea as well. Like, this hotel has a long list of stuff.
Yeah, suicides tend to have a long list of suicides. Like
Hotels, you mean?
Or is that hotels?
Suicides have a long list of suicides?
Yeah. Well, the beers are hitting, pal. Yeah. Hotels of this nature tend to, especially who have this certain air about them, tend to have a lot of history of death behind it.
Yeah.
But these are like really out there.
There's a lot of stuff happening. Like this is a hotel that has a lot of fucking history. I'll tell you what. As for like sightings, Michael Imperoli. Does that name sound familiar?
Is that the guy who invented lobster stuffed raviolis?
No, he was one of the main guys in The Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
You probably would Did you watch Sopranos?
I did.
Okay, hold on.
I was like,
that really got Bill.
Yes, because I was like, am I missing something right now? Because I was like, that was so out there. Even for some shit I would say, I was like, I was not expecting that.
I just heard the Italian name and I had to make it a bit. But yeah, I am familiar with that man's face.
Do you know this man?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yes, that's Michael Imperoli.
Mm-hmm.
He actually had a very famous sighting.
Oh, really?
At this hotel, and he's talked about it several times on. There's a couple of documentaries like that. He's like come out and been like, I fucking saw this.
It's probably like My Celebrity Ghost Story. Probably on that.
No, it was actually a Chelsea hotel specific one.
Oh, really?
I want to say the Ghosts of the Chelsea or something like that. So Michael Imperoli had an encounter with an entity known as Mary. Mary was a Titanic survivor and she's a well-known ghost of the 5th floor. According to reports from several mediums and paranormal sleuths, the Chelsea Hotel housed survivors from the 1912 sinking of the Titanic. That is an undisputed fact because they are so close to the water.
Right.
It was easy for them to just house Titanic survivors.
Yeah.
Mary was one of these survivors. She had lost her husband when the Titanic sank. Mary became distraught, depressed, and was never able to adjust to life after the Titanic. She ended up committing suicide in her room on the 5th floor, and Mary is most often found at the west end of the building where the archway is in that hallway and where the original large apartment's entryway would have been. There's been a lot of reconstruction to make it a more profitable hotel.
Sure.
Mary is often checking herself in the mirror. She's referred to as the vain ghost. One thing that people always mention is that Mary does not like to be bothered by the living. So if you see her, do not expect any welcome words or gestures because Mary perceives the living as annoyance.
What a cool ghost.
And so Michael Imperoli had seen Mary.
Okay.
That's cool.
And he talks about it all the time. Like
Hey, how you doing?
He's actually terrified about actually seeing another ghost. 'Cause he's
Oh.
like, I don't want to see. Like, this was a scary enough experience. I don't want to
Sure.
see another
She
ghost.
doesn't sound that bad though. She sounds like she just kind of is like. I feel like she'd be the kind of ghost you'd be like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" And she'd be like, "Something to snub you off." You're like, "Fucking East Coast hospitality, my ass," And then she disappears, and you're like, "Okay."
I can promise you both that whenever the day comes that I actually see a ghost, I really hope that I'm going to be able to be stone faced, get through it, not be terrified or anything. Cause it's I feel like when things shatter my perception of reality, I will either be like, oh fuck, or I'll be like, there's a lot of people around here right now. Don't lose your composure.
Be cool.
Be cool.
So Michael just kind of is there his encounter in that?
I couldn't find the Ghost of the Chelsea to watch because it's on a streaming platform that I don't have, or an add-on I don't have. But from what I could, Michael Imperioli is kind of a weird guy in general. Apparently, for the movie Summer of Sam, he met with a witch to get the movie made. He's very
That's pretty cool.
he's just kind of a unique man.
I feel like that's the right mindset to do about a movie about David Berkowitz.
Yeah,
You go talk to a witch in Manhattan.
yeah.
It seems like the kind of thing you should probably do. I don't know. Just that to me doesn't seem very strange.
No.
Yeah.
Seems kind of correct in a way.
Yeah. I mean,
But a man who said the neighbor's dog was telling him to kill people. So
yeah, that's fair. There's a lot. I mean, he talks about it in that documentary, but of course I couldn't fucking watch it because there's 1.5 million streaming platforms.
back in
and
my
add-ons.
day, it was just on television.
Literally. But she's known to be hostile if you engage her. So if Michael did engage her, she was not nice.
Oh, hostile. I wonder if does it mean hostile in the sense of she's just she comes after you, or hostile in the sense where it's like, hey ma'am, how's it going? She's like, fuck you. You're like, okay.
Oh, you know what? Also, the one thing I was gonna do, I found an article of him talking about it. However, if it's HuffPost and it's paywalled.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Because of course everything is fucking paywalled.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it here. I already have a subscription to New York Times for research. I don't need more.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't need another fucking news article subscription. I'm already trying to just wait out my New York Times, and I'll cancel it when it jumps up to $30 a month.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's awful. I unfortunately pay for quite a number of things. So there is also another ghost who I think you guys will like this ghost. He's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, yeah.
This is Larry the Hipster.
Oh,
That's what he's called. He's according to verified reports from a medium who relayed her findings in the Living with Legends Chelsea Hotel blog, Larry the Hipster ghost is distinctive because he never stops talking, never shuts the fuck up.
yeah. So when I died, I just kind of, I was like, man, I'm dead. I can't believe I'm dead. It was really crazy. And my death wasn't really that traumatic. It was pretty traumatic, but it was whatever. Have you been downstairs and checked out the bar? Cause they have the best, double IPA down there. And I go down there, I smoke my corncob pipe, I disappear into the wall, but not always. Sometimes I walk down and then I go down a set of stairs that aren't even actually there. And then one time I shut the fuck up. Shut up, ghosts. Shut the fuck up.
Bro.
Yeah. So it's
Stop talking about all of your vinyls right now.
it's literally he is so anxious to tell his story that much to the annoyance of his fellow ghosts, Larry pushes himself to the front of every ghostly gathering to talk.
Oh, God.
He's a yapper. He's a certified yapper.
Certified yapper.
I get it, Larry. Me too. Yep. I love the yap.
That's so fun, dude. Can you imagine being like a paranormal investigator and like he just just appears and you're like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah. So anyway, I was down. I went down. I went to go see if there's any bagels down there. There's no bagels. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see if there's any bagels down. That just came in. There's no fresh bagels. So I kept looking around and went down. And you're like, after 10 minutes, you're like, is there any other? Is Mary around?
Yeah, is Mary around? Like, bro.
I'd rather the hostility right now, I think.
Yeah, you're a ghost. I don't think you really understand the assignment. Like, yeah. I think you're not doing it right, bro.
Just having him follow you as he's like, yeah. So there's about like a bunch of different ghosts here. Did you know Andy Warhol was here once, and like Stanley Kubrick, and then like Taylor Swift like wrote a song about this place. That was kind of cool. I listened to that, but it was playing on somebody else's like iPhone. I didn't really know what an iPhone is. Really, I've never really had one of those, and it just goes on and on and on. And then
it is just like, it is funny because this is we always talk about how we never see like modern ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is a modern entity.
That's so fun.
He has to either be a millennial or Gen Z. Has to be.
I mean, it's just like one of those like things. Because they say when spirits are aware that an alive person can see or hear them, it's then that the ghosts become storytellers. That's Larry. Larry never gives any other ghost a chance to tell their story, but he's there. He loves to yap. He's just a certified yapper.
I feel like I would just go, if that happened to me, I would just go out of my way just to go find Mary and just sit down in a little archway where she's at and just smoke a cigarette and be like, I get it, dude. I think I understand why you're like this.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, he's pretty bad. He's pretty bad. He never stops. You guys talking about me down there?
No.
Hey, did I tell you? Did I tell you that I saw half of a football game the other day, but I didn't really watch it? And you're like, okay, Larry.
Good, thank you.
Thanks for joining the conversation, dude.
You ever had a dry IPA?
Larry
just
actually does have like a critical message to relay. Okay. He says that, according to him, everything inside the Chelsea Hotel is real. Walk outside the hotel's doors and you enter into an illusion.
Oh, man. Maybe he thinks he's in the Matrix. I don't know.
Inside the hotel is real. Everything outside the hotel is an illusion.
Interesting. It sounds like a lot of people that I send videos of to Bill on Instagram. Yes. I have a few people on Instagram that I'm saving for another show that we're hopefully going to start up again. That is basically just that. Hey, it's so good to see how you're doing. Did you know that none of this is real? Did you know that? Did you know that none of this is real and that you're not real? Did you know
birds aren't real?
Bring this up close. Did you know that you're not real? Did you know that none of this is real? You're not real. But the satellites in your teeth, those are real. Anyway.
Larry the hipster ghost also says that there's something indeed underground at the hotel long before the Chelsea Hotel was built. There is some power that is the genesis of the Chelsea Hotel's creative power.
Cool.
And then he also has one last important message. How one conducts themselves at the Chelsea Hotel is what is important. Not just the art, but how one lives their life at the Chelsea Hotel.
Oh, interesting.
So, listen, Larry's a certified yapper, but he does drop some nuggets of wisdom.
Okay.
And then other times he sounds like a man at a bus stop. So, I would probably sit and yap with Larry. I'm not going to lie. I'm a yapper. I'm a yap.
Yeah, so one time I went I was watching the video on this guy's phone because he left it open when he was taking a shower. So I was in there watching it, but there are things in this hotel you'll never fully understand and comprehend. Beings beyond nature, beyond spirits.
Yeah,
Larry, what the fuck? what are you doing, Larry?
About?
Anyways, Larry, you want to hear about dogs?
Oh, yeah, I've seen a couple of those before.
I can tell you some really cool facts about dogs.
It's just you and a ghost yapping back and forth to one another. And then meanwhile, I'm using the EMS detector like, what the fuck?
Certified yapper.
Taking the K2. What the fuck? The yap meter's off the charts.
Not the yap meter.
Yappa.
Yappa.
Yap meter. Yeah, so there is a lot of just weird stuff about the Chelsea Hotel.
Weird.
And it's pretty weird.
Pretty weird.
How does everyone feel about the Chelsea Hotel?
I want to go stay at the Chelsea Hotel.
You actually can now. They were closed for renovations from 2011 to 20 something. But it is open now. You can stay there. It's expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah, if
It's like a one-nighter.
Right.
You probably know how much it is. Bill, do you want to guess how much a room
it
at
is
the Chelsea is?
So, first off, it is New York, so I'm going to give it a little bit of grace there, but I'm going to say it has to be probably like $425.
That's actually a really good guess. It ranges from $470 to $560 a night.
Oh my god, bro. Like
It is a one-night hotel.
yeah, that is definitely a one-night hotel.
That is
Like-
not a we stay there for any length of time except for one night.
Unless you're one of them Travis Kelsey boys and you can stay there with all your football money.
Yeah.
That's definitely an experience.
And they have two different room sizes.
Okay.
They have the petite Chelsea and then they have the regular Chelsea. Those are the two rooms.
Okay.
And there's only a $30 difference.
What is the drug bender Chelsea? That's the seems like the experience you should be going for.
That's what they stick you in the alley.
They
Now-
stick you in the alley.
I would stay at the Hotel Chelsea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
It would be a one night. One night. That's all we stay.
Okay.
Is one fucking night.
Yeah.
Because I am not paying fucking $1,000 for 2 nights. Absolutely.
No.
Over
No.
$1,000.
No.
$500 and something, not including fees.
Yeah, that's
Is
that's
that not
wild.
insane?
That's totally wild. Like if I'm not getting to talk to the hipster, then I don't want to go.
If
I
I'm
want
not
my money
seeing Larry the hipster with the fucking devil, dude, it's not worth the money.
back. No way.
Like,
He's actually working the front counter. It's actually both of them together.
I would 100% go. And I know we've been wanting to go to New York, but it would be a one-nighter.
It would be a one night.
Right.
How about this? We can spend $50 and go get into a cab and go look at it from the outside.
Hey.
We can just go to Greenwich Village and just look at it.
Be like, look at that. Look at that thing.
And then
Look
go
at
get
that place.
dinner for cheaper than that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Hotel Chelsea, very cool, very haunted, very fun ghosts.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's about
in
as
there.
fun as the Fred with the bicycle, accidents.
At the House of Death or whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Does anyone have a guess on the next place? This is a very, like, when you think of New York, it's probably this.
Empire State Building,
It's not a building, but it is an area.
Central
Is
Park.
it, yeah, I was gonna say Central Park.
Washington Square National Park.
Oh,
What?
isn't that the Good Mall in Oregon? No.
Washington Square National Park. Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
It's a huge ass park out there.
Listen, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just
I mean, Central Park is also probably haunted, but I didn't think about Washington Square National Park.
okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with this location.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would hope so.
Well, I've seen it in Grand Theft Auto 4. Familiar with that.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about Washington Square National Park, which by day is a hub for both leisure and commercial activities. It's small in size, but the park is one of New York's most densely used green spaces. Locals are everywhere, sipping their overpriced lattes. You have street performers, entertaining crowds, chess players, musing over boards, the works. You got everything there. But at night, a much darker energy seems to take over this inviting square.
Okay.
And again, it's also in Greenwich.
Oh, interesting.
Greenwich Village in general is very haunted from what I've learned. Every fucking place seems to be in Greenwich. the Hotel Chelsea, the Washington Square National Park. Pretty sure the House of Death is there. I want to say the Morris Jumel is in Greenwich as well. So like everywhere. Located in what is considered to be, oh, look at that. It is New York City's most haunted neighborhood.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Look at that.
That's the least shocking thing you could have told me.
I wrote this like almost a week ago. I don't fucking remember. Washington Square National Park has always been active with the paranormal. Since it became a park, many have used it for their own enjoyment, unaware of all of the grisly events that once took place in the area. The park's haunted history began before New York City even existed. In its early years, the park was home to the Lenape Indians who fished from the Minetta Stream and utilized the land's swampy grounds. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, after the Dutch West Indian Company established a trading post nearby in 1624, the tribe was driven out of their settlement. Not a great start.
Not a great start. No, pretty bad. Yeah, they I believe it's also the Dutch trading company is also the ones who had the Batavia.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you're familiar with the Batavia, right?
Mildly.
The Batavia, it was a Dutch East India Company vessel, and it ended up wrecking off in Western Australia, and there was a mutiny, a massacre, and then a bunch of cannibalism.
Ooh.
Kind of want to do an episode about that one of these days, but
yeah,
they got a long history of really fucked up stuff that they're doing, and especially the colonizing America. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that'll do it. So, another Native American tribe that frequented the marsh was the Iroquois. Many of their members were ceremoniously laid to rest where Washington Square National Park currently stands.
Okay.
The deceased were placed on large scaffolds before being burned with their belongings. And a lot of people, of course, they always are like, it's a haunted Indian burial ground. But this actually did happen there. So, like...
Yeah. Well,
you take it with what you will,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's also really hard to tell, like, when the whole superstition, like, it definitely comes from like poltergeist and movies like that, where like they move the headstones, but they didn't move the bodies. You know, it's like the whole thing. Like my town that I grew up in, right. A lot of people believe that area was native lands, and they believe that area was used as a burial ground. I haven't found any evidence to prove that to be the case, but there is an absurd amount of hauntings where I grew up.
Oh, yeah.
Like my house is haunted, my neighbor's house is haunted, my other neighbor's house is haunted. Like there's something happening in there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like,
with this, verified.
It is verified. Like this was another area. So amid the city's just hustle, locals have seen the translucent figures of the Iroquois still fully dressed in tribal gear drifting beneath street lamps.
Oh,
So that's where that part kind of comes in.
That's pretty spooky. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I would be pretty spooked by that. After the arrival of the colonists, the area in Washington Square served as farmland for many, many years. From 1634 to 1666, the tract was occupied by freed slaves. It became known as, quote, the land of the blacks. That's a good name.
Bill?
How does that make you feel, Bill?
I was over here thinking about, you're talking about people in like native garb under the street lamps, and I was like, were they at the YMCA with the village people or something? But no, the land of the blacks. Well, all I can say is they probably had a great sense of music and culture, and also never mind.
Bill said, no more. I'm going to stop myself there.
I was going to stop myself there because I was like, I might go too deep even for myself on this one.
And I, too, will not be making any jokes regarding the matter. Because I'm a grown-up.
That's the only reason?
Well, you know.
Unfortunately, I'm too translucent to be making any fucking jokes.
Those jokes would be too colorful.
Oh my God.
Nice. Yeah, it's like the joke last week. We were talking about knitting.
Oh, yes.
When I was editing the podcast, I listened back and I was like, should I cut this? And I'm like, nah, it's pretty good.
No, I actually found out because Courtney told me that I stole that joke from her because she had made that joke before and it just had never dawned on me.
That's very funny.
Yeah, I was like, hey, forget the crocheting. I guess I'm just a knitter.
Oh my God. So it was a place where slavery was practiced.
Sure.
And honestly, places where slavery was practiced always kind of have an aura about them, where they are just so full of misery because it's a fucking awful thing that happened. And then in April 1797, the area was purchased by the Common Council of New York. The neighborhood was expanding quickly, so New York City government needed somewhere to conduct its more morbid activities. The neighborhood... I lost my spot. So Pottersfield became where the public executions were held. And where
My favorite.
Thousands of people were buried.
Oh, I love public executions. You know, back in the day when it was family-friendly fun, you know, you'd gather your sons who are going to die by the age of 30. You're 32 yourself. You're on your last leg, and you go, come on, wife, come on, my 10 children. Let's go see the city hang people for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
He dances at night. Burn him!
Dude, we've talked about it pretty much now about San Diego and all the haunted stuff down there. But if you go down there to do a ghost story, you'll hear stories where well, old Jim Doyle down there stole a boat and he rode across Mission Bay to go party at a bar, and he came back and they hung him. Like, yeah, but it came back.
He came back.
A man stole a horse and went to the saloon. That's a horse thief. You're gonna kill him too. Like they just love just killing people for no reason.
They really did.
My only thing I'll say is this is when I sit here and think about it, like they act like any old thing that was the way to handle it, and then you think about like Imperial China and like 20 million people would die in a flood. It's like, wow, it was a very different age back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
So this whole place in Greenwich just has a really gnarly history.
Yeah,
Yes.
Greenwich Village is New York's most haunted neighborhood.
Wow.
So there's a hanging tree that was used during executions known as Hangman's Elm,
Okay.
which still stands on the park's northwest corner.
Oh.
Hangman's Elm has been fascinating historians and drawing ghost hunters to the park for years because before executions called for the use of gallows, they used trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
So many prisoners were sentenced to death and hung from its branches. And there are a lot of stories that say if you walk past Washington Square National Park at night, you will see ghostly apparitions still swinging from the tree.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I would piss my pants.
Looks like we know what we're doing.
Oh, dude, I look at the Chelsea and look at those ghosts and I go, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like those are they'd be pretty spooky. It wouldn't be too bad. You know, be like, whoa, that was a crazy experience. Imagine you're just like you're walking to go to a restaurant and you're seeing the ghosts of like Native Americans walking, like standing under streetlights, and there's people hanging in trees and shit. I'd be like, what the fuck is this, dude?
Yes.
It's like, I don't like New York anymore, guys. I'm ready to go back home to Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking scary.
It is.
Yes.
at times, Potter's Field held up to 20,000 bodies,
Holy fuck.
of which included
Wow.
criminals, the poor, the mentally ill, and victims of several epidemics that ravaged the city during the early 19th century. The mass graves numbers grew particularly high after a yellow fever outbreak.
Oh my God.
The epidemic struck so hard that bodies were even piled up on the streets, but plight didn't stop there. Between 1799 and 1860, New York again was struck by a disease, this time being cholera. The body count at Potter's Field reached record highs. At the time, the city was one of the few places that did not practice cremation. To ensure that the land could be quickly reused to dump more bodies, corpses were buried in wooden coffins that allowed for rapid decomposition. Of course, this did not prevent the spread of disease. Surprise. Is anyone shocked?
No, not at all.
So the infected remains contaminated the water supply. So nearby residents would continue to be plagued by yellow fever and cholera. So
Great.
it's pretty cool, pretty lovely, right?
Yeah, I was curious where Potter's Field is. It's on you said Hart Island. That's where I'm showing this at.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And I imagine that they're all just still there, right? There's not a chance they just moved all those people.
No.
Oh boy, that is a. If you're looking for a fun place to go with the family, I recommend beautiful.
Washington Square National Park.
Well, this is in Hart Island, which is saying that's where Potter's Field is.
I don't know. It's all part of the same, is it not? Because when I was pulling up stuff about Washington Square National Park, it's talking about Potter's Field.
I don't know.
Nonetheless, over 100,000 people found their final resting place at Washington Square National Park. With a history so riddled in death, it's not really surprising that it's one of the most haunted places in New York City.
I'm surprised that place doesn't have the nickname of the Crypt or something.
Yeah, right. I'm like, I don't like this.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so Washington Square and Hart Island, completely separate locations
Okay.
altogether.
No. Okay, so Washington Square Park sits atop a Potter's Field.
Oh, it sits on top of a Potter's Field.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So not a still standing Potter's Field.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Is Potter's Field like a layman's term for something? It's like a term for something.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like when we talk about the.
Oh, okay. Potter's Field is a burial ground of the unknown or unclaimed. Okay, so apparently New York City just has a few of those.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll talk about another one.
Okay, I was like, you're talking about Washington Park, and this thing is 15 miles away. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. There's fucking more.
Yes.
Potter's Field is a place where there's a whole bunch of dead people that like to play with clay, and there's ceramics everywhere.
Yeah, because oh my God. So the Hart Island in the Bronx is New York City's public cemetery or Potter's Field for the unclaimed, unidentified, or indignant.
So the
with
current one.
With over 1 million barrels since 1869,
That's insane.
That's a lot of people.
including victims of epidemics like AIDS, COVID-19, and now managed by New York City Parks Department. So
Okay, so that's the current Potter's Field.
well, that's been going since 1869.
It's the one that's still standing, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, so the one in Washington Square Park is the one not still standing, but was one.
Okay, so I just want to get my facts straight on this whole story real
Yes.
quick. So Hart Island is its own separate thing.
Yes.
But there was another Potter's Island in Washington Square Park.
It's a Potter's Field.
Potter's Field.
Yes.
And then they were like, let's make it a fucking park.
Uh-huh.
Did they move the bodies? Or did they just
Well, considering over 100,000 people found their final resting place at Washington Square National Park, I'm going to assume not.
Oh no.
They probably have like an annual event of like, hey, find as many bones as you can, and you get to keep them. It's so much fun.
If you kids find any human skulls, they're mine. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's young children that are in 18th century clothing that have been spotted among the crowd. Others have reported to see an eerie blue fog hanging over the park at night. Some suggest that perhaps it's vapor from all the dead bodies which lie below.
Oh.
As for photographs taken at the park, strange anomalies often appear in them, including glowing orbs, shadowy figures, and even full-body apparitions.
I just... That shit just hurts my fucking brain, dude. I was like, oh, maybe like the wires got crossed when it comes to information. But New York just has a bunch of these.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
I mean,
Just y'all wait.
I'm waiting.
Goes back to the joke y'all just made. What continues to surface at Washington Square National Parks are bodies and fragments from the soil. In 1965, Con Edison workers unearthed 25 graves while working on the road on the northeast side of the park. Since then, more skeletal remains have been uncovered. At one site, 70 to 80 human bones, possibly belonging to 2 individuals, were found, and at a second site, 3 to 4 sets of skeletal remains were found. Headstones have also been discovered during renovations, one of which dates back to 1779, which was confirmed to belong to 18th century Irish immigrant James Jackson. In under a week, it was theorized that Jackson had resided at 19 East George Street, which is the former name of Market Street, and was a watchman and grocer. And James Jackson had passed away during one of the cholera outbreaks 1 year after his child.
You know, I can just say this. I really wonder what he could have done musically if Michael and Janet had not stolen the spotlight. Like, I really do wonder what that Jackson could have done among the rest of them.
Probably not died of cholera.
Yeah, probably.
Probably a start.
I'm just still in shock over the whole Potter's Field thing. I didn't know that was even a thing.
No.
That's very spooky. Let's go to Hart Island. Is that in here?
No, I have. Sorry.
Kicking one another.
So before the land began to be shaped into a park, in 1849, it was used as the Washington Military Parade Ground.
God bless.
That's pretty metal.
In 1827, Mayor Philip Hone allowed the city's 7th Regiment to use the square as a drill field. They needed more space, so the borders of the field expanded to include almost 14 acres. The field was lumpy, and the militia's heavy artillery sometimes unearthed crushed coffins and skulls.
Oh my God.
The bodies on top were exhumed and reburied elsewhere.
Well,
So they continued using it as a drill field.
They're like, well, surely there's no more bodies under here.
No, there is. As a city landmark, Washington Square National Park is famous for its architectural elements, especially the iconic Washington Centenary Arch. The arch was work of architect Stanford White and was built in 1889 to commemorate the centennial of George Washington's inauguration as president. It was fashioned after the Arc de Triomphe in Paris.
Yeah. That's why it looks so familiar.
Mm-hmm. And then other notable structures are several fountains, an impressive monument of the Italian general and politician Giuseppe Garibaldi.
Joe Garibaldi.
Mm-hmm. It's Joe.
That's Joe.
Sounds like the starting lineup of like the 1900s Yankees or something.
Giuseppe Garibaldi comes up to the plate. He swings, he misses. Pasta comes flying out of his pockets as he slides into first. He needs to go back and hit the ball because he didn't actually hit it. This is baseball.
This is baseball, a spicy meatball.
There's also 2 statues of George Washington. And as for like more recent modern additions, there is now a dog walking path, a plaza for chess playing, and a performance stage to the park.
Ooh.
But don't forget that there are thousands upon thousands of bodies under everybody's feet in this park.
I'm going to go stand on top of that little performance spot, hold up my Bluetooth speaker, and just play Limp Bizkit break stuff and see if the ghosts like it.
So ghosts are often spotted at the park, but also neighboring New York University's Washington Square campus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I saw on Google.
Many students have come across ghosts in the school's haunted hallways.
Oh, no.
One of the campus's most active sites is the Elmer Holmes Bobst Library, which was completed in 1972 and lies at the park's southern edge. 70 Washington Square South was where many students ended up taking their own lives as well.
God.
In the past decade, at least 9 students have committed suicide at the library. In separate 2003 instances, 2 students jumped from inside the building to the hard marble floor.
Whoa.
Then in 2009, student Andrew Williamson Noble leapt to his death from the 10th floor. Suicides actually at that school, literally right next to the park, happened so frequently that the school had management to install digitally inspired perforated aluminum screens in an effort to prevent them.
Holy shit.
This whole fucking area is not good.
How bad's the school?
I don't
It's
know.
an education.
I like how they're like, man, there's a suicide epidemic at our school. Let's make it so it's harder for them to do it instead of just being like, let's start talking to our students.
Yeah.
Well, do what you can.
Yeah,
Do what you...
I guess. Yeah, that's fucking nuts. Mm-hmm. Well, seems like a really interesting place. Greenwich was
Like the
Greenwich
whole
Village?
area, yeah.
Yeah,
Greenwich.
yeah. I know we're gonna stay when we go to New York.
Which Greenwich always throws me off because it is spelled like Greenwich,
Yes.
and I don't like it. It's spelled stupid. Fix your spelling.
Fix your spelling. idiots.
like Madras and Madras,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
we found out earlier.
Yeah.
fucking mattress.
So we also have Rolling Hills Asylum.
Yay!
Our next one. This is located in East Bethany, New York, which was originally known as the Genesee County Poor Farm and was established in the cold winter of 1826. I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but a poorhouse or a poor farm is what they originally called asylums. It was an institution built by the government or a charitable organization to provide housing to orphans, widowed women and their children, the disabled, mentally ill, and minor criminals. The residents at Rolling Hills, to give you an idea,
Yes.
were called inmates.
Oh, so that's good.
Yeah.
That starts out great.
That's how you want to treat the mentally ill.
It was regardless of the reason of why they were there. So that should give you an idea of how bad this place was.
Okay. Yeah.
They don't sound like a very friendly bunch, but I'm willing to listen. Willing to hear how the rest of the story goes. I'm sure it's going to be just fine.
So the Genesee County Poor Farm was an actual farm. Itself was self-sufficient, with residents tending to the land and animals as part of their chores. Basically, it was if you were able to walk, they put you to work.
Okay.
That's what they did.
Okay.
So,
You're going to earn your keep.
Oh, my little Timothy is taking his first steps. Look at him. Look at it. Little Timothy is taking the first steps. And the boss comes in, ashes a cigarette on top of the baby, and just goes, shift starts at 8 a.m.
pretty much, it was very bad.
Pushes in the soft spot, ashes it out.
You got a built-in ashtray right there. Get to work.
Hey, keep up the good work, kid. Meanwhile, he's like,
Yeah, so the grounds resembled essentially a reformatory. These type of structures were common in the United States during the 19th and 20th centuries prior to the adoption of the Social Security program in the 1930s. There is also a record of a cemetery located on the grounds of the farm, but it's not been discovered.
oh no.
The county would bury those who had no family on the land, and the cemetery itself has faded over the years with stones crumbling and wearing away in the winds. If I recall correctly, yeah, it is in there. So, when they do you want to guess how many documented deaths there are?
Okay, let me guess. So
Documented
deaths. I know Waverly Hills Sanatorium had 63,000 people die within its walls within 60 years, 70 years. I'm gonna guess it's probably not more than Waverly. Is it over or under Waverly Hills?
under.
Under. I'm gonna say 40,000. 40. Say 35, 40,000.
So documented, there's 1,700.
Okay, so
So-
way off.
Pretty low.
Yeah.
Pretty low considering. But that's not including undocumented deaths.
Uh-oh.
So it's probably closer to like 3, 4. Well, probably like 3.
Yeah, probably. So when the Genesee County Poor Farm opened its doors in 1827, this was written about it in the Batavia? Yep.
Batavia?
Batavia, sure. Times. Newspaper, quote, notice is hereby given that the Genesee County Poorhouse will be ready for the reception of paupers on the first day of January 1827. The overseers of the poor farm are of the several towns the overseers of the poor of the several towns of the county of Genesee are requested. Sorry, that is fucking phrased so goddamn weird.
Back in the day.
In all cases of removal of paupers to the county poorhouse, to send them with their clothing, beds, bedding, and such other articles belonging to the paupers as they may be necessary and useful to them. The following are eligible for assistance: habitual drunkards, lunatics, one who by disease, grief, or accident lost the use of reason, or from old age, sickness or weakness of the mind, or weakness was so weak of mind as to be incapable of governing or managing their affairs. Paupers, person with no means of income. State paupers, so ones who blind, lame, old, disabled, with no income source, or a vagrant. Luckily, it's a little better now.
Okay.
We don't send as many people to
Yes.
mental health facilities.
Mm-hmm.
At least not in the way that they did with Rolling Hills or fucking what is it?
Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Any of them?
Yeah.
I mean,
There was actually a whole thing that I was gonna find where it was like reasons to be sent into a mental asylum, and I'll see if I can find it real quick. And while you continue, because like it'll just show you the reasons people would get sent to a lunatic asylum, and they're all just insane.
they're insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually the Rolling Hills Asylum is known as the second most haunted site in the United States. So that's good. Right? We think that's good?
Yeah.
I did find it. These are reasons to be admitted to a mental asylum in 1864 to 1899. Just a few off the top. Kicked in the head by a horse. In mortal life.
No.
What's that?
Oh, it was still on me, and I was like, I'm very
Oh.
uncomfortable right now.
Mental excitement. Novel reading. Parents were cousins.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Women trouble. Yeah.
That sucks. Like, you just can't hit it off, and that's where you get sent. Like, that sucks.
Rumor of husband murder.
Oh my goodness.
Rumor of it.
Rumor of it. Just the rumor. Bad whiskey. Bad company. Bad habits and political excitement.
Oh,
That sounds like lyrics
politics.
to like an awesome song.
Tobacco and masturbation. Got to combine those two together.
Okay.
Uh,
that's when you
Snuff.
smoke a cigarette. And
yeah, snuff eating for 2 years. One just says the war,
The war.
firefighting, and suppressed masturbation. Just a few off the top.
yeah.
Could be reasons you can be sent to a mental asylum.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty insane.
So if you fall in any of those, especially rumor of murdered husband murder, you're going in, bud.
So there's a few tragic tales out of Rolling Hills. Each of them just as bad as the last. One story involves a resident named Roy. Roy suffered from extreme gigantism, a physical deformity that left his face deformed, his hands and feet oversized, and his height well over 7 feet.
Oh, wow.
Roy was the son of a prominent banker in New York City, and he was sent to live at the asylum because his family considered him an embarrassment.
Oh.
He was brought to the asylum when he was 12 and passed away there at the age of 62.
Wow. Lived there a
His
long
entire life.
time. Yeah, that's insane.
He loved opera music and was known in the asylum as a kind, gentle-hearted man. Today, visitors see his shadow lurking throughout the building. And one story, recorded by Weird New Jersey, told by the owner of the building, Sharon, kind of just captures Roy's purity. Sharon tells a story about running into a rat in the infirmary about 2 months after moving into Rolling Hills, because she bought it, and she was terrified by the rat. She screamed and ran away. And the very next day, she found the rat dead on the stairs, blood oozing from its mouth as if its neck had been broken. And on the wall above the rat was a giant bloody handprint. Sharon believes that this was the ghost of Roy, who witnessed her distress and killed the rat for her.
Wow. Thanks, Roy.
Thanks, Roy. Maybe you could have done it a little bit less of a spooky way, but I appreciate the thought.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't have mice amend the rat, but, you know, like, rat seems like friend. Squishes it.
Live
Yeah.
off the fat of the land.
Yeah. Yeah, Roy sounds, I mean, he just had, like, gigantism and probably like something like Marfan syndrome.
Yeah.
You know, it's like gigantism, you know. He sounded like a nice guy. He liked opera
wasn't-
music.
Yeah, he was. I mean, everyone knew him as kind.
Yeah.
His family just considered him an embarrassment.
So sad.
It
He could have done. I mean, he could have. Unfortunately, there probably wasn't much he could have done around that timeline, other than probably being a freak show. But at least he would have been like probably well loved.
He probably would have been better cared for.
Yeah.
Honest. Because others at the asylum were power hungry and not as kind. One of the nurses in the infirmary, Nurse Emmy, was known for her absolute cruelty.
Nurse Ratchet.
Yep.
She was feared by the inmates and staff, and even rumored to have performed satanic rituals and black magic on the residents. Reports have circulated that Nurse Emmy still walks the halls of Rolling Hills as visitors hear a cackle-like laugh coming from the infirmary today.
Oh fuck.
There have been other reports of cruelty from staff members, but the residents in their asylum did their best in sticking together and protecting each other. Another paranormal hotspot in the asylum is a room known only as Hattie's Room, located on the first floor of the East Wing. This room has captured recordings of an elderly woman yelling, "Hello!" It's believed that this is the voice of a former patient named Hattie, who is blind and used to yell hello all day and night to get the attention of staff and nurses.
Oh.
Moving upwards into this building, the second floor men's dormitory is referred to as the Shadow Hallway. which
It's a cool name. Nothing bad happens in the shadow hallway.
it's a fitting name because this is the hall where visitors almost always see shadowy figures moving about.
Oh,
They walk
fuck,
in
dude.
and out of doorways, across halls, peek out from behind doors, and sometimes are seen crawling across the floor.
Oh my god. I was gonna be like, I was just thinking about that in my brain. I'm like, that'd be pretty scary. Like you're gonna do a tour and like a shadow like ducks into a door. Like, oh man, that was scary. But just seeing one crawling across the floor, dude, I'm fucking out of there.
Yes. Yes.
No, dude, I'm good. I'm good on that.
There were other places. The psych ward and solitary confinement locations in the asylum are some of the most sinister. Iron brackets protrude out of cement walls of a small room in the basement, which is believed to have been used to shackle unruly inmates. Sharon, the owner, explains that the horror of this is that they weren't always just criminals being locked up here. She says, quote, back in the day, they didn't understand you probably had a medical issue, Alzheimer's, epilepsy, Tourette's, Asperger's, or you were just an unruly wife.
Yeah, that's there was a whole. I mean, if I open that list back up again, there's just stuff like that.
Back in the day, if a man couldn't control his wife, he'd say, I'm going to lock you up. And often they would. It was not good.
That's what I'm gonna do to Taylor. I'm gonna go, Taylor, I've had enough of you. I'm sending you down the loony bin where you belong.
And then I'm just going to...
And then she's gonna get in there and then be like, we're gonna send you to a place you're gonna like. And then it's just gonna be a room full of like dog calendars. Like every surface has something dog related on it. Like that's Dalmatian. That's adopted. That's a silky. That's an Afghan hound. Those are really cool. And there's one over there. I'm like, I think she'll be happy here.
She'll be happier here. And then like each month when they go to flip it, it's a new dog. So the cycle starts
Yeah,
over.
like, oh my God, they're doing Belgian taverns on this. Oh my God. And look at the month, that month's doing Belgian taverns too. It's all part of a conspiracy. There's something hiding underneath the asylum.
So
This place is run by dogs.
I'm pretty sure I saw a coyote in a trench coat earlier.
oh my God. There's also the morgue, of course, which is another hotbed for ghostly activity in the asylum. In this room, there's a large embalming table, 2 large refrigerators, and a huge stainless steel sink. The morgue is rife with paranormal activity to this day, such as items being moved, disembodied voices, and visitors even report being shoved down onto the cold tile.
Oh, fuck. Dude. So they're aggressive in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But not all of them. Some of them are fine, but then you do have some ghosts who are more aggressive.
Yeah.
There is also like the website for Rolling Hills Asylum has like testimonials, I guess. And there was one that I pulled, which was, quote, in 1998, my fiance, now husband, had an herb shop called the Raven's Nest in a room across from what was a little restaurant. A grandson of someone offered to take us upstairs when I told him about noises I was hearing. And I kept seeing a woman in an old-fashioned nurse's uniform walk past our shop door. When I would look down the hall, she'd be gone, but you could hear her shoes squeaking. We went upstairs, and the owners had taken all the doors off and laid them inside the rooms. My husband and the boy, who I cannot remember his name, were walking beside me. She says, so, quote, I have been a psychic since I fell 6 feet onto concrete, splitting my head open. And I was hearing low murmuring. As we walked past the rooms, one at a time, you could hear the doors slam shut. The doors that are all taken off.
Weird. I'm sure it has nothing to do with falling 6 feet and hitting your head on concrete.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The boys were walking very fast at this point, but I saw movement from the corner of my eye. I stopped in front of one room and saw an old metal tub with a high back and an elderly man sitting there in steaming hot water, eyes closed and skin bright red.
Oh.
The woman in white that I'd been seeing was leaning over him with a strange smile on her face. Everything happened very fast, and the vision was gone, replaced by a room with rubble about the floor. I never saw the woman in front of our shop again, but I did always hear mumbling, squeaking of wheelchairs, and children laughing.
That reminds me of I've talked about it before of getting these things that I've learned what they're called from a friend of mine. I'm sure they have different names, but called like flashes, right? It's flashes of information that if you're psychically inclined or you have a connection to the paranormal like that, where they're giving you information and you can see something that the spirit is either it's a residual energy, and it's usually more often than not that, or spirit is trying to show you something. We'll give you this little bits of information before it returns back to reality. I've talked about the saloon down in San Diego, down in Cosmopolitan, being able to see like all the cowboys in the saloon.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm back in the saloon. Everything's back the same.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, why it happens like that. But that to me sounds very similar to that experience where she sees a man, sitting in the high back, the bath, and the nurse leaning over him. And then all of a sudden, boom, everything's back in this rubble again.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was only for a fraction of a second. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very odd. I do wonder, could Mary have seen Nurse Emmy? Or were there other nursing staff who took joy in cruelty to the asylum's residents?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because we did just talk about Nurse Emmy, who...
Yeah, I'm sure there was some other nurses that were being pretty
Nurse
pretty
Emmy
nasty.
Is the most, prominent nurse at the facility.
It's one thing if your coworker's a bitch. It's another thing if your coworker's a bitch and doing satanic rituals.
Yeah.
It's like...
True.
Oh,
Emmy.
Emmy.
That gets you extra points in the afterlife to be head bitch in charge.
Looks in the fridge like, who ate my lunch? Like, oh, sorry, that was me. I forgot. I accidentally didn't write it. I thought it was mine. She's like, okay. Starts pouring like a bunch of shit, blood on the floor. It's like, what are you doing? Like, don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it.
So that's what I got.
That's New York's Most Haunted Part 2.
Yes.
Part 2.
That was fantastic and
Good.
fun.
Yeah,
And
I thought it was
then
very interesting.
Kind of sad at the end.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring down the mood.
Was his name Roy? Was that his name?
It was Roy, yeah.
Roy. Shout out to Roy, dude.
Roy's just hanging out.
If you're in the asylum and you're for some reason listening to this podcast while inside the asylum, hey, put this out loud. Roy, shout out to you, dude.
Shout out to you. You're a real one.
Come on the podcast. Come hang out. Get your couple brews. Hang out. Maybe, I don't know. Show you some Ukrainian, Russian combat footage. Get your viewpoint on it. Dude stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Thank you. It's there's a lot. There's a lot this episode.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was I'm still reeling about the Potter's Field thing.
Yes.
1 million bodies on Hart Island, which was a
And
Potter's Field, and then there's Washington Park. A lot of dead people out there, huh?
Well, it is one of the largest cities.
Says who? The government?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
census.
Yeah, that's fair. That's why I always beef up the numbers when they come knocking. They go, how many people live here? And I go 40, and I close the door. I don't elaborate. Keep them on their toes, dude.
I haven't seen the census people in a long time.
I don't think I've ever seen a census person ever.
Yeah.
I have once.
What do they look like?
It was just a person.
I don't believe it, dude. They're part of the shadow government. If you enjoyed this episode and you're not part of the shadow government, please be sure to rate us 5 stars in the listening app. Like, share, subscribe. You know the business. You know what to do. You can follow us on all of our socials at HGOPodcast. That's pretty much on everything, or Haunts, Graves, and Omens on Facebook. And if you want to send us some hate mail, some love mail, or your spooky tale, you can at HGOPodcast@gmail.com. I check it weekly. Go out there, write us your short encounter that you had or how much you dislike me, and I'll read it on the podcast. If you want to send me hate mail directly or follow what I'm doing, usually hanging out with my friends who play in punk bands, you should go check out my Instagram at IHuntTheHaunted on Instagram, and I'll pass it off to Tay.
Hello, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lunar Thrill. You can also follow our dog at Spirit the Terv.
Spirit the Terv.
Feeling a little sicky right now. She got kennel cough from a dog show. So wish her well. Go give her well wishes.
Go give well wishes to the Sprite.
She feels very ucky. You can see, you can just the way she's looking at me. I'm like, yeah, you don't feel good.
And we'll pass it off
And now it's Bill's turn.
to Bill Bernard.
Howdy, howdy. I'm Bill Bernard. You can find me on Snapchat and TikTok at Thrill of Bill. That's where I'm most often. And on Instagram at bbernard4444. And I am going to get the Bill of Thrill TikTok / Instagram going eventually. But Thrill of Bill, that's where you find me.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, that was fun. And next week, we're coming back with some true crime. I have an episode in mind that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I think now's the time to do it. It's all about a former cop who goes on a rampage against other cops.
Oh.
Spoilers, but not spoilers. You'll find out soon. Remember to stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
And remember your lines. No.
Rewind. Stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
And Roy, shout out to you, baby.
Hey.
Hey, bye.
Bye. I was focusing on my dog.